Vedic Neuroscience. How to tune your brain. Science of Om and breath. What if I told you that ancient Vedic sages and modern neuroscientists are describing the exact same phenomenon, just using different languages? We often think of practices like chanting, pranayama, and yoga as spiritual rituals. But if we look at them closely, cleanly, and scientifically, we find they are actually tools for frequency engineering. Today, we are going to connect the dots. We will look at how the Vedic concept of nada, sound, maps directly to modern brainwaves, and I'll show you a specific 7-minute routine to tune your nervous system immediately. Let's start with the core principle. The Vedas state nada Brahma, which means everything is vibration. Modern neuroscience agrees. It defines the brain as an electrochemical oscillator that produces rhythmic waves. Whether you call it nada or EEG frequencies, they are describing the same reality. The ancient sages categorized mental states essentially the same way we categorize EEG states today. High beta waves are what the Vedas call a restless mind, or rajas. Alpha waves equate to shanti, or calm. Theta waves correspond to dhyana, or deep meditative insight. The goal of Vedic practice isn't to believe in something. It is to shift your frequency from the stress of beta to the clarity of alpha and theta. The most famous tool for this shift is Om. But it's not just a religious symbol. It is a frequency engineering tool. When you break it down into AUM, you are physically vibrating different parts of your nervous system. Let's look at the mechanics. AA resonates in the chest and diaphragm, activating the vagus nerve and beginning the shift from beta to alpha brainwaves. Ooh rolls through the throat, stabilizing the alpha state through parasympathetic activation. Creates resonance in the skull and sinuses, releasing nitric oxide and calming the limbic system. This humming causes the release of nitric oxide and directly calms the limbic system. EEG studies actually show that chanting Om increases alpha and theta waves within minutes. As the texts say, Om brings the mind to stillness. This refers to a literal frequency drop, not just a spiritual idea. So, why do we need yoga postures, or asana? Think of it as hardware alignment for frequency stability. Your spinal cord is the main electrical highway of the central nervous system. When you slouch, you compress nerves, sending stress signals that keep you in a beta-dominant state. Sitting straight, like in Padmasana or just a straight-backed chair, keeps the neural flow unobstructed. Once the hardware is aligned, you control the rhythm with breath or pranayama. Vedic breathing, ratios like 4:2:6, map exactly to EEG changes. The formula is simple. Slow breath equals slow brain rhythm, which equals a stable mind. The Vedas also optimize the environment for these frequencies. Candle gazing, trataka, staring without blinking, quiets the visual cortex and forces alpha dominance. Mala beads, japa, repeating a mantra at a steady rhythm, about 6 cycles per minute, entrains theta waves, reducing the noise of your thoughts. Bells and conch shells. The lingering ring you hear in a temple creates wide-spectrum harmonic frequencies that reset the auditory cortex and induce coherence. They even optimize time. The Brahma Muhurta, the period just before sunrise, is when melatonin levels and low sensory input naturally place the brain on the border of alpha and theta. It is the easiest time to hack your brainwaves. The key insight here is that you don't control the mind by force. You tune the vibration, and the mind obeys. Here is a simple 7-minute routine based on these principles that you can try right now. Sit straight, 30 seconds. Align your spine to clear the electrical highway. 10. Slow breaths. Use a slow ratio to slow your brain rhythm. Chant Om 9 times. Focus on the long to vibrate the skull and calm the limbic system. Silence, or 3 minutes. Sit with eyes closed. This allows you to settle into that alpha-theta shift. This is the true meaning of dhyana. Try this for a week and see if you can feel the frequency shift. Thanks for watching.